Hey guys, Krzysztof the Polish Geek, and welcome to another movie review. And I'm going to review this new science fiction movie that everyone talks about, The Creator. Because this movie is getting lots of praise and love, and many people saying, wow, new epic awesome science fiction movie. But does the movie quite live to the hype? Like, do I agree with the general hype and opinion? No. I can't say that I do. The scale and scope is just big and epic, and the visuals are wonderful, but overall the story is pretty cliche, and I think the characters are sadly, most characters are kind of boring. Like, the two leads, the main character is actually pretty interesting and really cool, but vast majority of characters are pretty boring, with the exception of the main protagonist I just said, and the little robot girl that he's forming bond with. Like, their relationship and chemistry is probably the best part of the movie, even that I don't think was quite executed all that well. But when it comes to their chemistry relationship, we'll get to that later. First, let's discuss the actual story of the movie, which I just said. I have to say, it's a pretty cliche and very predictable story, which isn't always necessarily a bad thing, like, as long as the characters are likable and amazing. But in this case, as I said, most characters, especially the supporting characters, were pretty bland and boring. It kind of reminds me of like the first Avatar, where like visuals are great, but the story and characters leave a lot to be desired. The story goes like this. And artificial intelligence has become so advanced that now robots are basically performing all the tasks for humans that are lazy, and then suddenly they blow up Los Angeles and the American government declares war on them, and the main character, Joshua, goes back to work and decides to find the mysterious creator behind all of this. Yeah, pretty predictable and cliche storyline, and to no one's surprise, spoiler alert, then again, I think, in my opinion at least, it's so predictable that I don't think it's really that much as a spoiler, but to no one's surprise, or at least not to my surprise, that the mysterious villain and creator turns out to be a human all along. And then later Joshua meets a little girl robot, and he names her Alfie, and of course at first he doesn't like her, he views her kind of as a robot and a burden, but at the end of the movie he comes to love her and even sacrifices himself. And while this again sounds pretty cliche, but then again, if the relationship was better executed, then I don't think there would be anything wrong with repeating a storyline that has been done a lot of times, because their relationship was actually the best part of the movie, even if it wasn't executed in the best way, because honestly I feel it was kind of rushed. Like, it didn't really feel like supernatural, like very natural. The character development between the two of them for some reason didn't feel very natural and organic to me. It felt like kind of like bait and switch. He doesn't really like her at first, and then at the end he suddenly reveals he loves her and saves her. For me, it seemed more like a bait and switch. It didn't seem like a true character development for me. And another issue I had with the movie was that the movie introduces lots of various interesting and deep themes, but then it never really elaborates on them, and it never revisits them again after it introduces them. Like, for example, the idea that human turns out to be the creator behind all of this, although it's been done to death, it wasn't necessarily a bad idea, but it should have been executed better. And the idea that robots are not different from us humans. But then again, none of this is really elaborated or dived in upon. It's almost as if the director assumed you're already supposed to believe that without really further deeply exploring it. Like, the only character it did somewhat explore it was that little robot girl Alfie, but other than that, I don't really feel like the movie truly dived into the deep theme of robots not being much different from humans. Like, let's compare it to my favorite movie of last year, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Like, that movie also very much explored the themes of what it really means to be human, but that movie has done it just wonderfully and thematically, and it was just fantastic. But here, It just feels like it tries to do what other movies before it has done, but not executed all that well. And then again, now it probably seems like I'm ranting about the movie, but no, the movie is not all bad, and there are plenty of things to love about the movie, like the epic scale and scope is just big and epic, and also the visuals are certainly wonderful, and the landscapes and the cinematography is pretty good, and ultimately, even the two lead characters are actually not bad characters. As I said, they were actually the best characters of the movie, even if I do feel they do lack the character development that I would want from them. And even the story itself, it's not bad, the story, it's just cliche. So ultimately, I don't think The Creator is a bad movie, but it's certainly not particularly great movie either. And I think that there have been many better science fiction movies in the last few years, like 2019 Alita Battle Angel, like that movie was wonderful, I think. And I'm really hoping it gets a sequel. So ultimately, I do think The Creator is worth a watch, but for me personally, it's not something I'm going to revisit again, or at least not anytime soon. So, thank you for checking out this video, press the like button, please subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you soon in another video. Talk to you later, bye!